The Celtics Talk podcast is presented by 24autogroup.com, 11 locations across New England.
What's up, everybody? This is like the seventh podcast of the week. I appreciate everyone who's pressing play on this thing. We did 2 pods about Celtic City. We've had at least 3 games. This is a back-to-back third game. We did the Mike Tirico pod. Hope you all aren't getting sick of me. I'm having fun. It's been a good week. For those of you watching on the YouTube version, as in the aftermath here of Celtics defeating the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm going to move the mic real quick, so if it gets hollow on the audio version. I'm showing off my Derrick White pocket full of threes hoodie. The fine folks over at I Love Boston Sports, Boston Sports Company, kind enough to send us over. The same guys who did the Peyton Pritchard shirt. You'll be seeing plenty of these around the garden because they are awesome, and it feels appropriate. We spent last night talking about Peyton Pritchard and Derrick White pairing up for 84 points in their 40-40 club, first Celtics players to do it. Tonight, Derrick got his entire teeth smashed out again. And that's where we start because on a night where the Celtics don't have 3 starters, don't have 5 of their top 8, Derrick is one of the few guys that go and play. Both him and Jason Tatum were good. Tatum goes for 35 points. The story of the night was everybody else, but we're going to start with Derrick because his post-game press conference was amazing. Abby does a great job grilling him on his grill and losing. What it sounds like is, so Derrick, you all remember. First off, let's roll it back to 2 seasons ago. Derrick felt like he was getting beat up every single night. And at one point he had a bloody lip, I remember, before the All-Star break. And he kept pointing, one more game. He was just trying to get to the finish line. I might have played all 82 that year. And it was remarkable because, man, that every time it looked like he had gotten really, really injured, and he would bounce right back. So let's fast forward to last year during the NBA Finals, during I believe it was the clinching game, right, at TD Garden against the Mavericks, hits the floor hard, knocks out some of his front teeth. And so as he told me before the season, I think it was, they did a little work, temporary work, to get him all stitched up before the parade. And then Derrick was like, I'm going to go enjoy a little bit of the off season, and I'll worry about this dentist stuff in a little bit. But then the phone call comes, and it's Team USA saying, come join us in Paris. But that's after a stop in Abu Dhabi. And then they go to Paris, and they win gold, and they comes home, and he breathes for a minute. And then the Celtics go to Abu Dhabi. And so it's been a lot, and Derrick ultimately admits tonight he never got the permanent teeth. And so there's a bridge on the front of essentially the teeth that got knocked out. There's some fake teeth that go in there that cling to his old teeth, his real teeth, and that little piece fell out tonight when Kelly Oubre elbowed him. But Derrick, ever the trooper, got back out there and played. So my long-winded way of saying that's why I'm rocking the last 2 nights have earned Derrick White the apparel show off tonight because no matter what happens, he still finds a way to get out there and contribute to winning. He threw a couple alley-oops to Queta at the finish line of this game. But that's where I do want to go. I want to spotlight the efforts of everybody else. We just got done filming our live version of Celtics Post Up, our post-game show on these nights. And my whole Forsberg 4 was about 4 guys that, got some spotlight that don't normally end up there. And it started with Baylor Shireman, who had his best game as a pro. 15 points on 5 of 10 shooting, knocked down 3 threes, blew a bunch of kisses. So evidently, I did not know this, it was his college celebration was very much like Jason Tatum. Not quite as emphatic, more just like a soft blow of a kiss. And he did it once towards the Philadelphia bench and once just after he made a 3. Evidently, this has been his celebration as well. So I believe Abby asked him at halftime, and he said he had asked for permission, or at least informed Tatum that he was also utilizing this celebration. And Tatum probably gave him the okay because Baylor was everywhere in this game. He took a charge, like a hard charge at one point. He hustled the length of the floor to sort of break up what could have been a fast break for the Sixers. So much so that like everybody spilled off the Boston bench to celebrate with him. He had a steal and got fouled. This was a really encouraging game. So we know the story, right? Baylor, Brad's first round pick, and has spent most of the year in the G League. I think this was his 16th game with Boston this season. Nothing even close to this minute total. The 3-point shot, as it goes for most rookies, hasn't been falling, but got a couple to go tonight. You can see the potential in the way that he plays, and he ends up getting the Tommy Award in our broadcast after the game. How ironic. I keep joking. Poor Sam Hauser. Whether it's just been on his big nights, there's been other people, or the injury-riddled season, including tonight where he doesn't play with the ankle sprain, has not won a Tommy Award. And yet here's Baylor Shireman kind of filling the Hauser-esque role tonight and earning himself a Tommy Award. Baylor was really good in this game. I'm eager to see if it leads to more opportunity to the finish line of this season. We all know the Celtics are going to lean on their top 8, top 9 in the postseason. It's hard enough for guys like Torrey Craig, who are established and have played in playoff games, to crack that rotation. We'll see if Baylor at least gets some more opportunity with the parent club as the Celtics rest guys towards the finish line of the season. Speaking of Torrey Craig, 4 rebounds in this game, all in the offensive glass, including one emphatic putback where he actually put it back over Baylor Shireman. It didn't matter who was in front of him. He was going to dunk that basketball. I really liked the way Torrey Craig played with aggression tonight. Was really just sort of emphatic. 12 points, 4 or 5 shooting, those 4 rebounds, played some good defense. A little reminder, I think it's hard for any even established player like Torrey Craig, who has an NBA resume, to come in and earn Joe's trust and to potentially try to muscle minutes away from the guys that have been here. I think even Jordan Walsh might have been the first sub at the wing position to come in. You want to develop the younger guys like Shireman and Jordan Walsh, but also Torrey Craig is a guy that could get thrown into the mix here in the postseason, given his size and talents. An encouraging night for him to get up a double-digit game in only 20 minutes. The third guy spotlighted was Luke Kornet. Maybe I should stop because Luke has just been good so much this season that it probably goes without saying. I don't know if you guys saw, but ESPN came out with a new metric this week. I believe it's called net points. It's Dean Oliver, one of their genius analytics guys, devised a new sort of box score data. It takes all the box score data and maybe even the play-by-play data, and tries to give a value to how positive someone was on both the offensive and defensive side. On a night where Derrick and Peyton went for 40 points, there was some pretty hilarious net point numbers for them. But Luke, in the overall leaderboard through what would now be 3/4 of a season, Luke Kornet was 19th overall in total net points, so offense plus defensive net points. I think the casual observer would say there's something weird happening here. I can tell you it's just probably more a factor of very much like net rating. The Celtics thrive when Luke Kornet is on the court. He is one of the top 5 net rating guys in the NBA. In this game, I believe he was plus 26, yes, in 32 minutes. He doesn't miss a lot of shots, so his efficiency is amazing, 4-4 from the floor. He had 7 rebounds. He had 4 assists. He had 4 blocks, a 4x4 game. And as always, Luke Kornet just makes good things happen. Started double big again with Neemias Queta and impacts winning. So even the most newest of metrics say Luke Kornet is really good. And the last guy I put a spotlight on was Neemias Queta, joining Luke in the starting lineup. There's a hilarious sequence. I don't know if it was hilarious for Nemi, but got what felt like 10 offensive rebounds in a row and couldn't get muscle home the basket. And play goes back up and down a couple times, and then the timeout on the floor, and Joe can be seen screaming at him, just dunk it. And, probably not as kindly as I just put it. Nemi eventually took his advice into consideration. And there's a stretch late in the fourth quarter where Derrick's just throwing lobs on multiple possessions in a row to Nemi, who dunks him home. And, even just by the basic stat line here, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Again, 4 of those were offensive rebounds, and they all might have been on the same offensive possession. But 2 block shots as well. Nemi was really good. They needed a little bit of energy on this night. Second night of a back-to-back. You're missing all those guys. You knew that you're going to need a spark from somewhere. I thought Baylor and Nemi-ish were really good at setting a tone for this Celtics team. So, the Celtics are one of the things I keep telling you. It's they're blessed to have as much depth as they do. They've been able to navigate a lot of the injuries this season. You don't get a lot of games like this where there's so many guys out and you're down 3 starters and you're down 5 of your top 8. But it's kind of fun when it happens. Maybe it's easier when it's the likewise decimated Philadelphia 76ers on the other side. But I really like how the Stay Ready group, or whatever you want to call them, were ready to play in this one. Got the Celtics to a win. And it sets up a little momentum for Saturday's showdown against the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, here's some more from our postgame show.
The award-winning 24 Auto Group is the easy choice for your next car, truck, or SUV. 11 locations and over 2,000 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock.
Shop the brands you know and love, backed by savings and service you can count on. Plus, buy 3 and get 1 free for all tire purchases, with 11 convenient locations across the South Shore of Massachusetts.
24 has the knack to save you more. Visit us in store or online at 24autogroup.com.
Kayla Burton, Tom, we got Eddie. Just takeaways. The fact that the Celtics were able to cruise to their 3rd straight, but doing it with kind of the, Stay Ready group. It was cool to see.
Yeah, we talked about it before the game, Eddie. Like, Jason Tatum, obviously, his number was 31.5. He goes out there, gets 35, and, controls the game. But then you got the bench guy stepping up.
I thought that was going to be a high number, too, at the end of the day. I thought 30,
not high enough for him.
Because I thought we were going to put him away, and he wouldn't be out on the floor like that. But he handled his business. But Baylor Shireman came in, did what he did. Torrey Craig came in and got 12 points. He showed up. And then Peyton Pritchard with his 19. The bench showed up and showed out today.
Baylor Shireman, let's talk. 15 points. He was 5 of 10. But for me, it was the hustle plays. What he was able to do at the end, the bench went crazy when he was diving after that defensive play to kind of tip the ball out of bounds or, before that transition basket. What did you see from him for the fact that he was able to, stay ready, be ready when his number and his jersey is called, and then kind of execute in the best way?
I thought he was active defensively. I thought they dared him to take shots, and he knocked those shots down when they dared him. And then that last play, if I was Joe Mazzulla, I'm not Joe Mazzulla, but if I was him, I would have let him at least get a couple trips up and down the court after he hustled like that. He came right out the game after he did that. I would like to see him get, especially when you put your body on the line like that, you go out there, you hustle as hard as you can, you dive on the floor. You don't want to come right out the game. That's just like you knock down a shot and you come right out the game. Be like, damn, coach.
That's your whole momentum going.
Yeah, I think he might have been good for another tray.
It's talking about guys who don't want to come out of the game, the guys who don't even want to sit, and just coming back to Jason Tatum because he hates sitting, right? And he sat last night with the shoulder impingement, but he's one of the few starters out there. His ability to just completely control things, and obviously Philadelphia is shorthanded and everything else, but. The 35 points on 14 of 23 from the field, Eddie. Like, what did you see from him tonight?
Just under control, like you said. And the one thing that, super efficient, 14 of 23, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. We've seen that graphic right there. But he's getting it wherever he wanted to get it. If it was in the fast break, if it was a 3, if it was mid-range. My favorite play is what we showed earlier when he hit the in and out. Like, he had total control of this game. And it was from the start. And that's the one thing about Jason Tatum is that he has shown this growth, of understanding how to play the game, when to take advantage of his opponents, when to pass the ball. So I think Jason Tatum is coming into it. He has came into his own. And it's a great thing for us to watch. We're actually blessed to be able to watch this great talent night in and night out.
18 points in the first quarter. And, Tom, you said it. A guy who doesn't want to rest. And, Eddie, this is a superstar player, right? He's trying to not only rack up his numbers, he's trying to be the best for this team. But I mean, look at all the other guys, and rightfully so. They have injuries. You know, Drew Holiday obviously injured with that mallet finger. JB sitting out. Kristaps Porzingis, et cetera. Al Horford, and then you have Jason Tatum, who is showing up day in and day out doing his thing. I just think that's such a testament to not just who he is as a player, but the ceiling that he sees and the ceiling that he's trying to attain. We talk about him being in the conversations with the Larry Birds, with the Wilt Chamberlains, and it matters, and he shows it on these nights.
And I think that's the only way that you get in those conversations. It's not all about the numbers, especially if you're playing with the Boston Celtics. It's a difference. You know, if you're somewhere else in a different organization, I'm not going to name no organization because I don't want to, you know, kind of poo-poo on that organization or any of the other organization. But I want to say when you're a Boston Celtic, that does matter, that you show up night in and night out and you want to play. That's the only way your name gets mentioned with these greats. And I think also, you guys forget, I mean, let's not forget, not too long ago, he wasn't even playing in the Olympics. You know, he was getting DNP. So this is a revenge tour almost for him.
Yeah, a prove-it tour for the Celtics as well. And we've gone over, you know, Tatum, some of the bench guys, but also some regular starters who kind of kept things moving along. And a guy stepping into the starting lineup like Luke Kornet, who's standing by with Abby Chin back at TD Garden.
Luke, talk about a winning impact. You were a game-high plus 26 in this one. What is the mindset for you coming in, knowing you guys are down 5 of your top guys?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just trying to have our mindset of just going on to winning games no matter what. I feel like these are the kind of games we want to be defined by, of just always find a way to win and always find a way to compete no matter who's playing.
How do you guys do that, though? It's one thing to say it, another to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of credit goes to just our guys stepping up, like Jordan, Baylor, Drew, like guys just being ready to play and kind of working every day and taking those days intentionally, and then just stepping up and knowing what it takes to win for our team and for any possession.
You've been in their position before. How gratifying are these nights for that Stay Ready group, and how proud are you of those guys?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's really special just to be able to be on the court, especially when you're just kind of younger and like just trying to get some minutes. And I feel like they did a great job, and especially during the regular season and a game that we need to win. And I feel like they just did a great job of stepping up and kind of just playing a balanced game but aggressive one, and that's what we need from them.
I can't let you go without asking about Derrick's teeth.
Yeah.
Did you see him in the locker room? How did he get them back in, and how amazing was it he was out here able to get back out here on the floor?
Yeah, no, it's tough. He's got a target on his head, I think, and I didn't get to see it. I didn't realize that was happening. Then I saw it back, and he had like some sort of mouth guard or something in. He was supposed to apparently go to the dentist 2 weeks ago and missed that appointment. And kids, that's why you got to make sure you make those dentist appointments, because you might get elbowed in the face and lose your teeth.
Thank you, Luke.
That's going to really stop anything, though. So, yeah.
I don't think it's going to stop Derrick either. Luke, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
So the Celtics wrap up their season series with Philadelphia. They go 3-1 against the Sixers with that lone loss on Christmas Day. But it also includes that win where they were down by 26. That was one of those wins that kind of started to turn things in the right direction. So anyways, they wrap things up against Philadelphia, 3-1. And now we're joined at TD Garden by Drew, Carter and Scal.
Hey.
Back together on the call tonight. Fellas, good win here for the Celtics, 123-105. Your thoughts?
Yeah, a little tamer in terms of making history and the Garden going nuts than it was last night, but taking care of business. And, Scal, I think this is a game that had trap written all over it, right? Second night of a back-to-back. Sixers have none of their top dogs, and the Celtics didn't mess around at all.
So we're going to give a credit to a lot of people today, but we got to start with Jason Tatum setting the tone. Star player set the tone early in the first quarter. I think that got these guys headed in the right direction. And then stay ready group throughout, whether it be Luke, Nimi, I don't even know if you can count Pritchard in the stay ready group. He's always ready. But Baylor Shireman. So I just take Jordan Wallstock down a shot. This group today, you could tell they were just executing, defending. Joe was mixing up the defenses a little bit more, and today was a great team win from top to bottom.
Yeah, they were really guarding all throughout this game. And I thought it was interesting how, without Horford and without Porzingis, Joe still went double big. And he put Queta and Cornet out there together. How do you think those guys looked?
Yeah, good. Active, and I think they're learning. And, they had matchup problems. Think about There's a lot of times when they're on Kelly Oubre and he would go to the basket, but these guys all got each other's back. So if a big is out on the perimeter, you've got another big at the basket. Did a good job of rebounding today. And then there's some areas that they can clean up, but you're running lineups out there with 3 guys that maybe aren't considered shooters, but yet the Celtics execute at a really high level. So give them all the credit in the world for being able to do that. And I like the double big lineup. It puts a lot of pressure on teams at the rim.
Well, congratulations to Drew Peterson making his first career start. He's undefeated as a starter. Baylor Shireman with a career-high 15. And Miles Norris getting his NBA debut and doing it for the Celtics. You got the scouting report on Miles Norris after 2 minutes of mop-up duty?
No, he's long, I tell you that. Them arms go for days.
And he can shoot that thing as well. Didn't get to see it tonight, but hopefully we'll get to see it soon. Giles, and it is good to be back. And I'm not letting Mike Tirico back in this chair again because, man, he's so good. So I'm not trying to get my job stolen.
I want to know how.
So I got hit in the face. But they were temporary, and I was supposed to go in probably like 2 weeks ago, but I kept pushing it off to get like my permanent ones. But I'm gonna go tomorrow.
So did you just like shove them back in? Shove them back on?
Not exactly, but kind of.
You knew right away.
Yeah. Luckily, they were like right there, and I picked them up, and then we went to the back, and I was trying to debate how I was gonna go back, and then got some glue, and I put the mouthpiece on, and we were good to go.
Does it hurt now?
Did all of them come out? Like, how many teeth fell out?
So these 4 are like connected. It's like a bridge.
Okay.
I think it's what the dentist people call it. Shout out Boston Dental. I'll see y'all tomorrow, by the way. And so that fell out. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight. So thankfully, I covered my mouth right away.
Is that why you had your jersey? Okay.
Will you now play with a mouthpiece? Is that something you'll consider?
No. I'll consider it though, but no.
So Derrick,
unlikely.
I get playing through something like that in Game 5 of the NBA Finals, but this is random game in February, like March. Like, why'd you go back out?
Well, after the glue and the mouthpiece, I figured, what's the worst that could happen? And then long as I didn't take the mouthpiece out, and so just get back out there and keep the mouthpiece in. That's kind of how I thought about it.
Did you think like, oh, here we go again when it happened?
Nah, I knew what happened, and I knew why it happened, and I wish I went earlier, but so I wasn't freaking out too much because I knew what happened, but it was definitely interesting.
You really seem to love Baylor's hustle play at the end of the game. What got you so jacked up for that one?
Yeah, just a big time effort. Kind of surprised how fast he was running, honestly. And then the slide, it was just a great play, great hustle. I mean, he could easily just let him get a dunk, and but just doing everything he needs to do, and had a big game today, took advantage of his opportunity. So it's good to see, and I was happy for him.
Think you're going to be able to get all patched up in time for Saturday?
Yeah, I told you I'm going to the dentist tomorrow. We'll be good.
Why does your face end up as like the target for so many things, seemingly? So many hits.
Well,
In front of it.
I don't know. Gotta start not doing that, I guess. I don't know. It was kind of a weird play. Obviously, the first one was pretty crazy, but this one wasn't as crazy. But I've been putting off the dentist, and so that's on me.
Derrick, speaking of Saturday, just as a basketball guy, how much does it mean to you to be a part of the Celtic-Laker rivalry?
Yeah. I mean, watching the documentary or the first episode, you kind of see like the beginning of it, and it's just pretty cool to be a part of it, and a long line of great teams on both sides, and great players. So Saturday will be no different, and it's going to be a fun one.
All right, now the good stuff. Luka and the Lakers coming to town. We've had a lot of finals previews talk. Denver was here. Oklahoma City's coming next week. It just feels like these are some of the teams that you're probably going to see along the way, or at least be in the mix in the Western Conference. I'm fumbling through my phone now because I wanted to check what the score of Lakers were playing the Knicks tonight out in L.A. Before they relocate to Boston for Saturday's showdown. The Lakers had won 7 in a row. Their strength of schedule wasn't great, and they tripped up. The one kind of game they tripped up, I think they lost to Utah at one point. But they beat Denver. That was probably the most signature of wins to this point. And but they're down 9 in the third quarter now to the Knicks. We'll see how that unfolds. You know the story. Luke is there. They're defending better. All the metrics suggest they've gone up a level. And it's so funny that we get this little jolt to the Celtics-Lakers rivalry at a time when Celtic City documentary is hitting, and episode 5, I can tell you from viewing it, was all Celtics-Lakers from the 80s. And I almost wish episode 5 was out now so that you could see it and get as excited for a little rekindling of a rivalry that I won't say been dormant, because Celtics-Lakers is always important, but it's going to be a different sort of energy than it's been the last couple of years when Luka and LeBron come into the Garden. And hopefully the Celtics are closer to full strength. I think they did a good job pacing themselves through this back-to-back. Feels like if you want to turn Kristaps Porzingis loose, maybe Drew Holiday's mallet finger is feeling better. Certainly you would expect Jason, Jalen, Derrick, and his whatever teeth he can cram in there to be out there. And hopefully we get the showdown between these two teams, because it'd be a really fun way to cap an already deliriously exciting week, given the 40-40 nature of Derrick and Peyton on Wednesday night. And then you don't want to even start looking too far ahead, but game against Utah, and then all of a sudden you're Oklahoma City next Wednesday night. It's going to be a fun 7 days. A little spread out. Going to have to plod through this, get to these games with the spacing in between. But chance for the Celtics to catch their breath. Not great that I was been talking to when I was over at the Garden on Wednesday night. I think a lot the Celtics players were not looking ahead. But I know there was some talk about the schedule and 3 and 4 nights, and that's always tough. You'd probably prefer to have it spaced out a little bit better before you see the Lakers in a showdown like that. But again, I think the Celtics paced themselves appropriately, found a day for just about everybody in their core, except Derrick White, to take a break, and poor Derrick's going to spend Friday in the dentist chair to be ready for Saturday. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Our whole pre- and post-game crew will be over there at the Garden on Saturday night we're going to do pregame, we're going to do postgame, we're going to do halftime, and then we'll be back here on the Celtics Talk Pod. So thank you again to everybody that's been grinding through these pods this week. I do hope you go check out the pod with Mike Tirico and Drew Cotter. It was a lot of fun for Drew to tag out for a game and get to talk to such a legend like Mike Tirico. The pod with Abby in the aftermath of the 40-40 game is as energy filled as you probably can anticipate. And let's see if we can bring the same sort of energy on Saturday night. We'll catch you from the Garden on Saturday night here on the Celtics Talk Podcast.